is a sort of serpentine form with wings and pretty nasty teeth. This one has one eye because it did get pierced through the skull. If you want, go ahead and make me a nature check.
All right. Yeah, not bad.
All right. You have to kind of search hard, in your brain. You've never really heard of these things before, but if you had to guess, it is some kind of natural predator. It kind of looks dragonish, but it's not. You notice that it doesn't have scales so much as sort of almost an eel-like body. Very thick hide on it. It has spines down its sort of neck, and a single talon on each wing, sort of like a bat, I guess you'd say. Again, it itself doesn't have any loot on it, but make me an investigation check in general. You're actually not too bad at those usually.
I'm gonna walk up to it and help.
Okay, yeah, make that with advantage.
Quote unquote help.
Yeah, roll it again. You guys kind of search around.
Saber, roll again.
Hmm?
Yeah, you get advantage on that because.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah,
that's a lot better. Looking around, you managed to find me. Okay. In here, you find dead bodies. Well, skeleton remains in the water itself. By your count, dozens? 100, maybe? A lot, either way. And in the water, you also notice something glinting, just with sort of like the low ambient light. When you sort of moved your head, all of a sudden you see this little glint. You kind of reach your hands down, pull this skeleton wearing this plate armor out. Looking at it, you're not entirely sure what it is, but it is a set of plate armor that, despite being in the water for what you would imagine is some time, considering it's a skeleton now, has stayed quite shiny.
I will take that.
All right. Write down Mariner's plate armor. You also, looking around between the two of you, sort of searching around, you find a small tube, almost like a map tube, waterproof, sort of corroded, but it doesn't seem like the seal has been broken.
Yep, I'll take that too.
Okay. And you also find one potion of healing, and sort of scavenging around as best you can, you come up with 283 gold pieces and 400 silver pieces. And not copper, but we're not going to count those.
I still have 5 silver and 1 copper piece.
Yeah, it happens.
I don't remember where I got the copper piece from.
Probably trading or something, I don't know.
I think I might have picked it up off a dead body.
Actually, that's nice. Upon you sort of get out of the water, Ta, and open up this tube and sort of pull it out. Give me an Arcana check. You're proficient, so you actually can read this.
Wait, what?
Potentially.
I'm not proficient with Arcana.
Yeah, you are.
Well, but you can cast spells. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because of that, you can kind of read this. We'll see how well you can read it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a spell scroll specifically for the spell. It's a first level spell called Ceremony.
Oh, well, I could do that.
Well, it's a ritual. You can, yeah, but it is that is what is in the spell scroll. It is the ritual spell ceremony. So you can scroll of ceremony, I guess.
Todd, what you got there? What was it the two?
It's a spell scroll for the spell ceremony, which I don't actually know what that is.
Oh yeah, it's actually a ritual you can do. It's not a lot of things. You can marry people. That's about it. You can bless some water.
You can marry people, coming of age, atonement, bless water, dedication, funeral rite, and wedding. They all have different effects. I'm gonna just do this so that you can look at it a little bit better.
Sure.
There is the link.
Oh wait, hold on. I think.
Oh,
give me one more. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, there's the ridiculousness. There's a lot there. Meanwhile, let's see. Trying to remember if there's anything else. I would like to point out, especially now that Birdie is back. We talked about this, about how you guys are like, you might be like level 8, but your CR is ridiculous. That fight was a CR 11 monster.
Why would you do such a thing?
Because we're tanky, that's why.
With 2 CR 5 Dracons, and lair actions.
What's our CR?
But we were burnt.
Your level, basically,
Yeah.
a CR is a CR is equivalent to a party of 4 players, basically cleric, fighter, or cleric, barbarian, like rogue and sorcerer or whatever. You know, sort of like a base party setup. Would have a tough time at whatever level. So 4 players of competent skill would have a tough time at whatever player level they are per CR. So a group of level 1 players would have a tough time with a CR1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not a tough time, but it would be a challenge. So, yeah, that's what it took to really get you guys going.
Yeah,
man.
well, that's because I have like.
It helped that we were out of spells and we were already not like topped off.
Yeah, and mind you, and that was after you had a fight and didn't take a short rest.
Yeah.
So that's like an idea of just how strong you guys really are and how much work I have to put in.
Yeah,
to exactly what's going on.
I have a great defense, but my health is still pretty squishy for being a fighter.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you guys have a lot of offensive power.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm just glad we killed that
as a
fucking
party, as a whole, we're a bit glass cannony. I would like to upgrade that.
Yeah,
to maybe
pretty much.
And Bramnick, are you back?
Yeah.
So you might.
Well, I can tell him I know everything from the dragon thing here, so he can like.
Well,
get
actually,
parts off of
as you go closer, make me a nature check, sort of to supplement what Todd knows.
Okay.
Yeah, it's enough with Taz sort of help there. This is not a dragon. It's a beast.
Ooh.
This is called a Dracon. It is very dragon-like, but it is very much a beast. They have sort of acidic bile that they use as a weapon, as you guys learned, and have a similar paralyzing gaze as like a basilisk or a gorgon.
So it's straight beast. It's not.
It is
like
considered a
monstrosity
beast.
or-
Yeah, it's considered a beast.
Hmm.
CR5.
Well, I won't get that until like level 15. So.
Yep, but still.
Something to keep in mind for the future.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. It's a very, very strong little dude. But yeah.
Maybe we could.
I want to harvest it.
Okay. You know what? Just make me a dex check.
I'll
Dex or
I'll
something.
roll to assist to just like cut through the tough part.
Okay, yeah. So make it with advantage.
Dex check.
With advantage.
Yeah.
20. All right. You recover. As you're sort of going through. Are there any parts you're going for in particular?
As someone that's familiar with animals, what parts would be the important parts to take?
Well, I mean, you guys
The winged
saw.
animal is nice.
I mean, it's not so much an important part. Whatever you want to take, for the most part, but it's got
Oh.
teeth and it has one eye now because the other one kind of got shot through. To be
Can
fair.
Can I take? All right, I want some teeth. I want
Okay.
to see if I can't maybe harvest or like contain some of the acid. Like see if I can get
Okay.
it to like give me some acid. And then does it have scales or is it more of like a leathery?
It is a hide, leathery sort of. It's almost like an eel, in texture. It's weird.
So yeah, it's the teeth.
Dried eel skin makes very, very good sword grips.
Teeth and acid, and then I guess I'll try to get some hide from it. We'll see.
Okay. So you managed to collect, we'll say, 6 Dracon teeth.
Okay.
The acid is now starting to like mix with the body itself and dissolve it a little bit. However, you do manage to get if one of you guys will supply, say, like a potion bottle,
Like
you
I
can
I've
get
got a couple of
vial. Okay, you can get a vial. You can manage to get about a vial of acid, as his acid breath didn't actually recharge in time.
Okay.
But there's a little bit there. You can get about a vial of it. And then sort of trying to skin it as best you can. We'll say you can get about 10 pounds of this hide. Just quite a bit.
Yeah. That's probably enough to make some cool armor or something out of, maybe.
Potentially.
You hang on to that or put it in the bag.
Yeah, I'll keep the vial of acid and throw the rest of it in the bag.
Okay.
Okay, so it was the 10 pound hide.
10 pounds of Dracon hide. Drakon.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice. Vial of acid. Okay.
Yeah, and you'll have to kind of play with that to really figure out exactly how much it does and all that
Right.
stuff. But yeah. All right. So, you guys have survived. What would you like to do now?
Are Birdie and Nick's back yet? I know Birdie's here-ish, I think.
I'm assuming they already checked for loot in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was going to wait until they got back, but we got 283 gold, 400 silver, and then I picked up a plate armor that I'm going to have Nick's identify.
Yeah.
And plate armor is the same as like my full plate, right? Or are those two?
Yep.
With that perception, do I notice anything like from the area where the like just like here on this side of the
map?
like over here, like where these Dracons came from?
So looking, actually, as you're sort of looking around, let's see here.
Like a lair or eggs or anything?
So no, there are no eggs. It seems, actually looking up, you can see little holes in the ceiling, and you can kind of make the assumption that that they're coastal animals. And for whatever reason, they flew in here, and it seemed like you kind of got the feeling that when Avasana was singing or whatever, she almost partially tamed these things. Faye being able to, sort of having an affiliation with nature and beasts.
I'll tap Ta on the shoulder and just point at the holes. Where have we seen those before?
What? Wait, which ones? What?
Those holes in the ceiling?
Oh, the snake people things?
Yeah.
Not quite the same. They lead outside. There's some light coming through them. It's more like this is a pretty natural cavern. It's not really been worked. It just is what it is. And the holes in the ceiling just seem to be part of a natural rock formation for the most part.
Oh,
You're not sure if there's more of these, but at the moment, it doesn't seem to be. case.
What I want to do, if you could jog my memory really quick, what condition was that ship that was on the shore end? Had it run a? Did it look like it had run aground? I remember you said something.
Oh
about
yeah,
a rock
it
in
had run aground and broken in half, basically.
Okay, and did we
Had a
see any
giant
other
spike
wrecks
through it.
around there?
No, you did not.
Okay, I'm
at
just
the
trying to figure
time.
out if like this was what was causing all the cargo to be the shipments not to make it, or if it's something else that we have to deal with too.
I mean,
So I don't know if I could look for like that symbol on any of the bodies in the water. Or what. I don't know it as well
Okay, what was your investigation?
as.
It was pretty good, 22. Yeah. In your sort of rummaging around, you know, a lot of this, like, there's like leather armor and, you know, sort of sailor's getup and stuff like that. You do find a couple with some odd symbols, and you take them over to Birdie. He looks at them and says, "Yeah, those are cat's eye."
But wait,
So
Birdie's deaf as fuck.
Oh, is everybody still deaf? Well, I can still just like gesture it to him, and he's
Currently,
like,
yeah.
"Nod, yes or no."
Because the spell or the ability effect says permanently deafened.
yeah, kinda.
Yep.
For the moment, yeah, all of you are deafened.
I'm gonna turn to Curly and be like, I think I like this group a lot more right now.
What?
And I'm not deafened or blind, so I'm like, ooh, so he likes me.
So,
Except for-
yeah, I'm not deafened or blind either. So. Wait, is Corellian deaf?
No, I made that save.
We yeah.
Okay, good, because
Yep.
Me and Saber made that because we got the +2 and +3.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 of you are deaf, 3 of you are not. That's
So we're actually split up into 2 groups: the 3 that can hear and the 3 that can't right now.
Yeah.
Or no, it's Bramnick is the one that's deaf, right?
No,
no, I saved.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay.
Birdie,
Yeah,
Nick,
So then,
and
okay.
Zuzia cannot hear.
Yeah.
I can hear, right? I'm pretty sure I can hear and see still.
You can
Yeah,
definitely.
no,
We can
everybody
all-
can see. Nix was the only one that got the short end of that stick, unfortunately.
Okay.
You know, when you walk into the middle of a chamber and and start yelling at an abominable beauty, she tends to take offense at that.
Should just fireballed her.
Well, he didn't. So, yeah. So,
Pull up the chat log.
I'm not. Hey, Corellian.
Yeah.
Notice how just saved your life again?
I'm just gonna sigh and start walking back towards the ship because I am done with this fucking water bullshit.
all right.
I just want you to keep that in mind
listen, I'm
next
just-
time you try
whatever.
to manhandle me on a ship.
I'm just gonna go walk off too.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Bramnick
I want to
will
head back,
remember
back
that.
to the ship. Bramnick will remember.
Jesus. Okay. So you guys all head back. Anything you want to do on the way?
Well, we pretty much looked through that other cave, so
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I just want to get back to the ship so we can, I guess, move on. I mean, I think this was the thing that was causing that. I don't know if there's anything else, but I have a plan for us to get back to the ship.
So, does anybody know what the fuck that lady we just killed was?
A bitch.
I would know.
You might.
Be nature.
No, it'd be history. It's not
History?
exactly a nature thing. It's more magical.
Oh, she was
It's not
fey,
quite
right?
she is fey, but it's not something you'd necessarily be used to. You've never been to the Feywild or anything like that, so just a straight history from learning now. Unfortunately, you're not sure what it is exactly. I don't think anybody has like a sailor background or anything, so
Nope.
no, not a
I
sky
would, but
sailor.
no, I picked Far Traveler.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's just like where you actually came from. I don't think any of you would have run into her, so, or one of her type. So, in the meantime, you guys, easy enough, sort of gather up everything that you found. You can shove you leave the body here, and start heading back towards the ship. It's relatively easy. All of you are pretty tired at this point.
I'll
but
swim back
okay.
as a dolphin or some shit. Shark, I guess.
Oh yeah, because you get your time back. All right.
I guess Todd and I would slowly walk our way back from the bottom of the ocean.
Well,
Pretty much, yeah.
Water
Until
walk.
they get to so Ta and
Oh, wait,
Krellian
does a water walk?
sort of walk along the bottom until they get to the shipwreck, and then sort of climb up on top of the shipwreck
Yeah.
It only lasts
and wait as
Oh, I was gonna cast Fly on Ta and Krillian since they have
Well-
trouble with the swimmage.
Would we still have water walk or
No,
short
it
rest?
yeah,
expires in an hour.
Water walk only
Yeah.
lasts an hour. So
yeah, you don't. But
Okay.
yeah, you climb up onto the shipwreck. Melee sort of starts to bring the ship, your airship, closer as best she can. Anyway, it's a little bit of a jump, but we'll say for the purposes of this, you can make it. Yeah, so you guys are all back on the ship. The sun is like at sunset right now.
Okay.
This is taking most of the day, sort of searching around through all the bodies and everything.
roughly how far from Praven are we?
Well, let's go and look.
Find out.
I'll at this point I'll just be like, I'll just
I
hand
gotta do staging here for
Ramnik
fucking.
my vial of holy water and just tell him, see what this can do for your plants, and I'll just walk off.
Holy water from a plant?
What? Why would you? What?
Did Birdie find his crate?
All
It's
right,
it's holy water, and plants need water, and I know he's growing shit.
Your character is so dumb.
9 intelligence.
I
Yeah,
know. I'm
Not
just
that bad.
stating.
Pocket the holy water, I guess. 'Cause-
All right.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and just drag that into your inventory.
So, sort of as you guys sort of get away a little bit, you're about a day's travel, or you're less than a day's travel over land to Praven. As the crow flies, so to speak, yeah. But going around, it's not too much worse.
I'd still keep it above the water level, like just barely, just so we could
Yeah.
still go in the water, but so we should be faster.
Okay.
And we're still on day
Are you
one,
gonna
day
go
one.
through the night, or?
Here's the thing. Birdie has to be back in, what was it, 2 or 3 days?
3 days, and we're
3
still on
days
day one.
total.
3 days. Okay. And we made it
They're
appear
one
in
day
like one
back.
half. Okay, well, because I had a backup plan. If he had to go immediately, I could give him that bird token where it turns into a rock and he can fly it back to River's Mouth. We can only use that 3 times
and
ever.
No, so this is day 1 of your shipping trip with your 10 crates.
Yeah.
This is like getting on into, I'd say, considering when and Birdie would know this, considering when Velatha told him it was
Because that was the day
midday.
before, wasn't it?
It was the day before. It was
Okay.
midday, so she expects him to be back midday, not the next day, but the day after.
Okay.
So you've got a day and a half to get Birdie back, basically.
Yeah, then I want
Well, then
to.
The other question is, did we actually complete his mission?
Or her mission.
I think so
Yeah.
because I found well, and that's the thing. I was going to try and use the rest of this trip to figure that out, but Todd did see the cat's eye emblem in the water, like on people that had been in there.
Well, and we made the assumption, because I don't think you were here necessarily at the exact time, Birdie, that he sort of showed you, and you kind of nodded like, yeah, that's Cat's Eye.
Oh, hey, actually,
Okay.
I still have 2 second level spell slots, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cast Lesser Restoration to
On the
cure,
other 2. Okay.
Nyx
So-
Does
and-
it work for deaf? I think it's like
Yeah, it does.
disease and
Nope, it does blindness and deafness. Yep. So all of a sudden,
Yay!
you hear this
I
sort
can
of,
hear!
rushing sound as all of a sudden you can hear the wind going past you. It's
Oh god, it
weird,
hurts.
but you can
It
both
hurts.
you now both can hear.
Ma, ma.
I'm going to
Ma.
sleep.
Pretty much.
Oh man, Elijah gets better when you were deaf.
Shut up, Tom.
well,
Yeah,
you
I'll
might be happy
talk
about
to-
this because
Hey,
Zuzia is
how'd your swim go, Ta?
It was
Oh,
really
that's
nice. Too bad I
right.
was sleeping for it.
quite literally sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
With
going to
cement boots.
Kinda. All right. So what's up?
I'm
What are you
going
guys
to-
doing?
Yeah, Zuzio
Okay.
is the only one that's still deafened, unless somebody else has lesser restoration.
I do, but I don't have.
No. It's okay. You can keep her alive.
I don't know that Zuzia is deafened. I don't remember.
I don't
She
remember
did
the
not make
moment
I thought
that
she
it
got, like, a
happened.
16
She did not
on
make
the
it.
save or something.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what the DC was, but
So yeah,
So,
apparently you're currently deaf, Zuzia. Sorry.
would I know how far mileage wise it is between, like, as the crow flies, between Prave and Rivermouth?
Praven and Riversmouth.
Yeah.
Normally by ship.
As
Well,
the
we walked it.
crow
once.
flies.
Yeah, just straight line.
Yeah, it's at. Sorry, this isn't quite the right scale, but that is 45-ish miles.
Oh, okay, that's
It's
easy.
like 3 days travel by foot. But yeah, considering where you are now, it's not too bad. Sorry, I need to actually increase the thing. It's stupid.
No, that's fine. I'm going to take the bird token out and then hand that to Birdie. And I'm going to say, I know you have a time crunch on this. I think that was the worst. I didn't think it'd be just the cave trolls, but after we fought that other lady, that was probably what caused the ship to run aground. So if you need to take this back, it'll turn into a rock, and it can go up to 144 miles in 24 hours, or last for 24 hours, whatever it is. So you can take that, and then it can be used 3 times. So you can come back too, and we'll be here. We'll probably, turn in the thing, and then
Meet you at Praven.
yeah, probably we'll just be like, you'll find the ship at the docks.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Let
I'll
me
just yell back at him before
find
he
the
leaves.
rock thing. 'Cause I don't
Maybe
remember
don't
how
drag us into
fast
more of
that
your
moves.
shit.
I
don't feel
I
like
wrote it
dying.
down. I wrote it down just like
Oh, thank you.
generally. It's 500 pounds. If it's carrying 500 pounds, it can go up to 144 miles. And I think that was just over the
Yeah,
course
I
of
just-
24 hours, or it lasts for 24 hours, one or the other.
I don't remember, and that's what I'm just gonna try to figure out. I think it might be like 8 hours actually.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
But
it's just
yeah.
called the bird token in my
Yeah.
inventory.
I just want to figure out how long you're gonna be stuck on the back end of this thing, which will help me. There. All right, and it's the figurines and the rock token. Okay. Let me find them. Been a little while since we did this. Actually, it's been quite a while. I need to actually make sure these are written down in the right spot now. We just changed a whole bunch around. Okay. Whip tree. Nope. Bird. There we go. 16 miles an hour. With a 1 hour rest every 3 hours of flying. Okay. So, from where you are,
So that's like 48 miles.
before resting.
Both ways.
16, yeah, you could make it in about 3 hours.
You might beat us back.
Yeah. Rough. Well, no, because it's not the right number. Yeah, you'd have to make one stop, but you could totally do it in, a few hours, like between 3 and 6.
Oh.
So,
And we'll do that.
okay.
Well,
Well,
say,
you're not
bring
gonna
us
get
back
it.
some gold.
I will say this right now. If you leave right now, you will not get the benefits of a night's rest, as you're going to be holding on to this thing the whole time. Doesn't have a platform. It's just a giant fucking bird.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any sleep, and you will suffer a point of exhaustion if you leave now.
When he gets there, like after he's done talking to her.
After he's done talking to her, he can take a nap. I don't, that's all up to him. But in the, it is now the end of day, basically.
Yeah, I'll take a rest.
Okay, you're gonna take a nap. Okay, so you settle in for a nap. Yeah. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Nap time.
I'm already curled up in my moss.
At this point, Melee has been, holding this for a while. She needs to She needs to rest.
Yeah, that's fine. You said that, or they had said that their fastest ship got there in 3 days, right?
By water, yes. They
So
don't have
if
any
we get there
issues.
in 2, that'll be more realistic, actually. So yeah, I'm gonna rest too. I think everybody will rest.
Okay.
'Cause that was an ordeal.
If you wanted to save the rock, I think I could fly Birdie there within a day.
Well, we get 3
60
uses out of it.
feet.
So.
I just did the conversion. It's 0.68 miles for 1 use of fly, and I could do that 3 times a day, or 3 times for a short rest.
0.68 is 68 miles. Yeah, it's
40
right now.
some
You guys are halfway. It's 40 miles away.
40. Oh, I'm sorry, I misheard.
Not 4. No. Yeah, you guys are out a little ways. So
So I'm
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I'm deaf,
You're still
You're
deaf.
deaf.
Currently
I don't
deaf,
have any
yeah.
muscle
and I can't do
function.
anything.
until the morning.
Well, you can do whatever you want. You
Well,
just
like to
can't
make
hear
myself
anything.
not deaf. Yeah, because that's gonna.
That you know of, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I guess I can't really ask anyone anything since I can't hear them. So
As-
I'll just save my questions for the morning, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, guys, can you like," and
I-
like
like-
point to my ears and be like, "Can you please help somehow? I want to hear." Before everyone goes to their
You can't hear the
Rooms.
crickets right now.
yeah.
You
And I
can't-
don't hear anything, so I'm like,
Yeah,
all right.
talk-
Answer you.
chuckling.
If
Hopefully
I hadn't already
they-
gone
Once-
to bed, I'd answer you.
But yeah, once everybody else is going down, before I head down to go to bed, as the sun's down, stars coming out, whatever, I'm going to walk up to her and not say anything because 1, I know she's deaf. 2, I don't want to anyway. And I'm going to take out the dagger of venom from the bag of holding, and I'm going to hand it to her.
Oh,
And then I'm gonna
awesome.
turn-
And I'm
Okay.
like thinking in my head, I'm like, that's what I was gonna ask for.
All right. So yeah, you have your dagger of venom back. You are currently bedded up in the one room, Valera's old room, I think.
No, top right one.
No, it's
Valera's-
Oh, right, top right one. Yeah. I thought it was the middle one.
No, Blair's is in the middle. Because that's where the box
Okay.
is, with the ring in it.
Yeah, because I thought Birdie took that room.
Oh, right,
I don't
Birdie.
know.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah,
this
because
one.
I haven't taken any room as far as I know.
Yeah, all right.
For the purposes of this, you guys
Yes.
are like that.
I just been sleeping up on deck.
Yeah, that's
box.
fair. I mean, you can do that too. I don't care. It's all up to you.
Yeah, that's
However, yeah. So, before you go to bed, you sort of set the boat down.
Yeah.
Just hovering over the water, but locked pretty close in place, using the anchor on the front end as best you can, in a spot where it can kind of swing around if the wind changes or whatever. Koresh is up on the front deck.
Guard dog. I did feed him some more meat. I am now
Nix.
completely out of meat.
You have. What are you gonna do? You know what? Let me just PM this to you.
Oh, did Nyx ever identify that plate armor?
Nope, I haven't asked yet. I was going to do that
No,
tomorrow.
no spell slots, right? So that would. Or does that take?
Well,
spell
it's
slot?
a ritual, so.
Ah.
Yeah, I was going to do that tomorrow when we were sailing.
Okay. All right. So you guys turn in for a night of well-deserved rest after after a bit of an ordeal.
After
a little bit.
dying again.
It's your thing, man.
It's my thing.
We didn't really die.
No,
I was closer.
that's true. Okay. Works for me.
I'm so glad I
So
pulled off that dex check.
Yep.
With the Leon hands.
yep.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
But you guys each managed to get a mostly restful sleep. Birdie going to bed earliest, as the rest of you slowly turn in after getting a little bit of food and going to sleep. Birdie, you wake up first.
We're
ready
attacked
to
by
go.
dragons.
You guys each recover your hit points, your spell slots, and half of your total hit dice.
3. Alright, I got 7 now.
Okay, and so Birdie, first thing in the morning, the light is just starting to peak, just slightly above the horizon. It's pretty early.
And I'm off.
All right, you pull out the token. I think you have to speak a command word, but I'll assume that you know what that is because
I didn't know anything about that.
I don't
No.
remember.
All
It's been a little while, but yeah.
He says
you-
bird.
I
Actually,
think
yeah.
it was a fly.
You hold the feather token in front of you and throw it out in front of you as it turns into a massive rock that lands right up the front, sort of dipping down, and you climb up on top. Sort of give a quick look around, and you say, River's Mouth, and it begins to take off, flying away from the sun, actually, more towards, the rest of it, but yeah. And you head back to River's Mouth. It'll be a little while, but
Yep.
we'll do that. We'll leave that there for the moment. Meanwhile, everybody else, you guys wake up. A little while later, you might hear, or almost like sort of feel the weight as the giant rock takes off. But yeah, you are
in the boat.
I want to go
mostly
knock on
well
Susie.
rested, and yeah, what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna go knock on Susie's door, even though I know she can't hear me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
Zuzia, you know what? I'm gonna give you a perception check because
Okay.
you are an Underdark native, so
You can probably sense
vibrations are
vibrations,
actually
yeah.
okay. Yeah. You don't hear it, but you feel the vibration of something that sounds like a knock, something you're kind of used to. You're usually used to listening for burrowing things in the Underdark, but you kind of get an idea that this might be a knock on the door.
That's the thing, by the way. I had a friend whose dad was deaf, and I had to go over there, and he's like, "Just knock on the door and I'll let you in." I'm like, "He's fucking deaf," but he's like, "Just bang on the door." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah, exactly. And those people who actually listen, sappers and counter sappers are really good at that too.
Yeah.
So
All right. I
yeah.
open the door for him.
I'll just reach my hand out as if I'm trying to take her hand.
And I
Marriage?
kind of just look at it.
I take out the scroll of ceremony.
I take out 25
I'll
GP
just,
worth of jewels.
I'll just kind of urge her to take my hand.
And so I grab his hand.
Mowedge.
And I cast Lesser Restoration.
Okay, Zuzia, all of a sudden, it sounds like almost rushing water, sort of like when you stand right underneath the shower head or whatever, and it's hitting the back of your head. You just hear this rushing of air all of a sudden as your hearing does, in fact, return. Everything seems a little bit loud right now, but it quickly calms down and your normal hearing is returned.
Whoa. Thanks.
No problem. And I'll just smile and walk away.
And I just kind of stand there taking it in oh, I can hear things.
I'm gonna head up and start us sailing off.
Yeah, I'd
All right.
Hand out health potions.
Yeah.
Well, then come up and get him. I'm gonna be at the helm.
All right.
I'll definitely go grab some healing pots.
I'm gonna start scanning the horizon for anything.
Okay.
We have 7 now, by the way. I found another one in the.
Huh?
Yeah,
I
there's
see
one extra.
ocean.
How many do we have?
Yep. You're too
7
busy
in
petting Karash, messing around of housing with Karash to actually notice
Who's a good celestial?
what's
teacher?
going on at all.
Yeah, you are. You did
Um,
a good job.
I'll just
Birdie
take one
is
normal
gone.
one.
Melee sort of comes up and looks at Utah, sort of smiles for a second, and then steps into the tree heart, sort of taking over and stabilizing the ship as you lift off.
Give her nuts.
Um,
Passes by.
Actually, I'm gonna retcon something really quickly. Bramnik,
Mm.
how much health did you have when you came in last night?
Oh, did he bleed all over the boss?
14?
Is that how
No,
much
no,
you came
I
onto
had-
the airship
I
with?
had 56. I had 56.
Okay.
Hit die.
Let me I just want to check something really quickly. I have so much crap. It's ridiculous. There we go. Yeah. Melee would have looked at you for a moment, kind of noticing this sorry state that you were in. Let's just put it, as simple as I can. And reached out a hand and said, and without a word, cast Cure Wounds on you.
Aww.
Well, that's nice.
She's learning.
You get the feeling that maybe this is a new thing.
Yeah. Oh man.
That being said,
Bless
she
you, child.
also would have looked insanely tired, and as soon as she does that, she would have given you a smile and then just passed the fuck out, like literally snoring before her head hit the pillow, or whatever. And then this morning, yeah, she steps in a tree hard after giving both of you a smile, and then begins stabilizing the ship again, making little druidcraft birds and things like that across. Actually, at this point, she's figured out kind of how to make a druidcraft version of a paper airplane, and seems to be enjoying chucking them off the side of the boat.
She's just littering.
With
it's all
vines.
biodegradable.
It's
It's all
biodegradable. It's
biodegradable.
fine.
She's just like throwing shit everywhere.
Yep.
That's awesome.
All right. Anyway,
What does 6 perception on scanning the horizon get me?
Water.
not jack shit. You were busy roughhousing with Koresh the whole time. Didn't really notice anything.
Nix would like to take out the box again.
What's in the box?
Okay.
That's what he's trying to figure out.
All right, Nick's gonna take a deep
yeah.
breath. Be like, okay. And she's gonna pull out like this little piece of parchment and be like, okay, I wrote this shit down. I thought about it. And she's gonna look at the box and say, crazy stick.
Okay. As you say that, you kind of hear like a little jostle, but then you try to open the box and it doesn't seem to be. It still seems to be secured at the moment.
And then it blows up.
No. Wait.
Suddenly,
Since
a
I can
level
hear
10
now.
fireball goes off.
Okay.
Can I
I'll
hear her doing this since I'm just like in the next room?
Yeah,
With my
you
door
just hear
open?
you just hear all of a sudden Nick say, kind of through the door, "crazy stick," and you have no context to what that means or anything else. But yes, next.
All right, she'll try something else, and she'll say, Nix.
You kind of hear another jostle. Doesn't seem to be quite opening.
Nix and the crazy stick?
It clicks open. Yeah.
Fuck yes!
Inside, you also find a scroll. There's a little note on top.
Okay, what's the note say?
So the note is from Morden. And it says, "I've been working on some interesting new projects. However, this seems to be something that might actually be useful, and I figured you should have it."
All right, she just wants to drop the paper and like put her hand on her chest and be like, "Oh, thank God."
All right.
All right, so you said it's a scroll. Can I take a look at it?
All right. As you look at the scroll itself, it is a version of the Contact Other Plane spell. That's a level 5 spell.
Oh.
It is not considered a ritual. It will require you burning a spell slot to cast. However, yeah, it is essentially the Contact Other Plane ritual, just not actually a ritual. Seems like there's some odd bits and pieces in the wording that aren't quite correct.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, she will.
And when I
roll that
say,
up and-
sorry, when I say, I kind of meant if you were gonna copy it down, it has the spell slot in it. You just have to
Oh,
read it.
okay. So I have to
Yeah.
write this down then. Okay, yeah. Then I'll just start scribbling that in the book.
Well, no, it's not a ritual, so you
Okay.
can't really scribble it down. It has the spell slot attached to it. That's what I meant by not a ritual. It would require a spell slot. If you could write it down, say if you were a wizard,
Okay.
as a spell. However, if you read it, it will act as if it was the contact other plane ritual.
Okay, and then it
not
will
the
burn up.
ritual part. And then it will burn up. It's a one-time use thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No
Yeah,
worries.
she'll roll that up and throw it in her pack.
All right. Meanwhile, anyone else got stuff that they want to do?
No. I guess I'd want to take a look around just to see like if there's other ships close by to see if I need to be in the water or above.
Yeah, I'll go check
Okay.
things out.
I'm gonna go up there.
There's just one thing I have to do.
Hey.
I wanna
Oh, I'm also gonna keep
Very
the
nice.
box.
crow's nest.
Okay.
Do we have a crow's nest?
Yes, we do.
No,
wait, hold on.
I don't think you guys ever added a crow's nest.
No.
I don't think so.
There
We
might
just
be. There's a spar at the very top that you could stand on, but there's
Would
no
be
actual
effort
crow's
bag.
nest.
Yeah, for the
but-
secondary sale.
Yeah. So, Ta, looking around, you see, as you sort of take off, you do see a few miles, likely, ahead and off, way off to the west. It looks like maybe coming from like Dragon's Mouth or something. You see a ship, but as far as you can tell, based on their direction and everything, at the moment, nobody's in close enough proximity to notice anything, and they don't even seem to be aimed for you. It actually looks like, based on like the direction of the sails and everything, that they are likely actually headed to River's Mouth.
Okay.
So
just
you are
punch it
free
then.
and clear at least here, because you can only see about 7 miles ahead.
Right.
At that low of a, if you were higher, you could see further.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Zuzia, as the airship sort of takes off, you get a chance to actually look back, and you can see these sort of beautiful cliffs, white and black stone, almost intermingling like marble, swirls here and there. Small shoals, sea creatures you've never really seen before, things like seals and that sort of thing, beached up on the beach itself and on some of these rocks swimming around, seagulls, and kind of a really pretty, with the sort of dawn light just shining on it. You can actually see a couple of the winged wyverns that you guys, or not wyverns, but the beasts that you were dealing with earlier, that seem to be hunting and coming back towards some of their own caves. It seems like, you had to guess, these are actually nocturnal. But it's a nice change of pace. From Granite Halls.
Oh wow.
I guess, do I see her like looking at the seagulls?
I don't know. Your perception is jack shit, so probably not. Crush is.
I don't think you see her.
What happened? Let me explain what happened.
Precious
You
slobbering
decided
all
you
over
were gonna
me.
look around a little bit, and then you kind of like did that whole, hey, you want to play with Crush? And then he jumped on top of you, and you are currently being smothered by a guard drake.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening right now.
But he's adorable, so it's okay.
Sure. Adorable. Scaled beast. That works. But yes, that is essentially what is happening at the moment. As you guys, you sort of bring the ship up a little bit to clear the shoals and the areas, and then bring it down to just about 5 to 10 feet above the crest of the waves.
Okay.
You guys begin heading out at a pretty good clip. The wind isn't quite with you, going this way, so you're a little bit slower than normal, but you are managing a pretty decent clip with the crystals and everything.
All right.
You have a guess that if you manage to push ahead at about this rate, by the time you have to turn inward, if the wind doesn't screw with you, you should be fine. You might get there early evening.
Cool.
I'm gonna walk up to Susia. She's staring around at the environment. Just lean over. It's nice, right?
Do you see these things down there? It looks like they're homes, and I don't know what any of these creatures down here are. I've never seen anything like any of them.
Yeah, the world's full of odd creatures, but it's a beautiful sight though.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of miss being out in nature. Been cooped up in cities and caves and stuff for so long.
I know all too well about caves.
Get out the scroll.
Yeah, right.
I'll just kind of sigh and walk back away.
I'm still staring off into the scenery.
All right, so your trip goes uneventful for the most part for the first few hours.
Yeah,
Unfortunately for somebody.
Whenever Nyx comes up, if Nyx does in this first bit, I was just gonna hand off the Mariner's plate armor and ask if Nyx could identify it. Or if you're gonna come up later, that's fine too. I don't know what you're doing in your room.
Yeah, she'll probably come up after she finishes with the box.
Okay, so
Yep.
yeah, that you're fucking with that for a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. You get up, grab a quick bite to eat, an apple, and then head on up. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
So once you get up there, way too much stuff. All right, there we go. Are you gonna just identify the armor then, or?
Yeah, if Tal wants, if he asks me to do it, yeah, sure, Nyx will do it.
Okay. You cast identify or as a ritual on it, and you kind of get the idea that this armor is actually made for being in water. Would have been useful earlier.
Oh, she just fucking cracks up. She doesn't say shit. She just fucking dies laughing.
But I'll do the identify anyway. While you are wearing this armor and attuned to it, you have a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. In addition, whenever you start your turn underwater with 0 hit points, the armor causes you to rise 60 feet towards the surface.
Oh shit!
Wow.
She dies laughing. She's just fucking on the ground, rolling around. She's just fucking like everybody can hear her just laughing so hard. Oh my goodness! Yeah, she'll tell Todd exactly what that does, and just like I don't know, in between like gasping for breath.
I'm gonna grab it and wave it at Carillion. Hey, Carillion, I got you some armor.
All right. Meanwhile, Birdie,
Yep.
you're having one hell of a time on the back of this rock.
Fly like an eagle.
Thankfully, you're pretty limber, and you manage to hold on.
I think I just dated myself.
Yeah, a little bit, but don't worry, we're all kind of that
Who
age
doesn't
group. I'm
remember
pretty
Space
sure.
Jam?
Right? I just watched it again recently with Rella. It was great.
It's so good.
Anyway, so as you're flying, it takes you about 3 hours. You have to land. Take the opportunity, grab a snack if you want.
Yeah.
The bird sort of needs to take an hour's rest or whatever. So 4 hours go by, and then you take off again, and you can start to see River's Mouth ahead of you, as Vilwin is off to your right-hand side, River's Mouth just to the south of it, and just dead center in your view, the small town of River's Mouth.
Yay! Almost there.
Okay. Yeah, is any particular place you want to land or go or
I'll land just outside of town.
Okay. You land outside of town. you tell the rock to make itself scarce, go hunting or whatever, and come back, I suppose.
Yep.
Because it's out for a while.
Yeah, 24 hours.
Yep. And you then sort of start heading into town. Anything you want to do other than go straight there, or is there anything else?
I'll go straight there for now.
Okay. You go back to the area that
It's gone.
yeah, the warehouse itself, and step in. Valatha is in fact still there.
Wow.
She appears to be training with a couple of newbie, younger inductees, likely street urchins that were picked up specifically, to join the Cat's Eye.
I'll stand to
sort
the
of-
side and wait.
Yeah, she looks over at you, basically puts this kid straight down. I mean, just, he's trying his best, but she's, really good at what she does. Kind of knocks him to the ground and then turns towards you and says, "Oh, you're back. Good.
Yep.
Did you get it done?"
I think so. Found this cave with 3 trolls of some sort. Took care of them. And then found some other, singy lady thing and 2 dragon-looking things and took those out. Hopefully that'll put a stop to the shipment interruptions.
Right, well, if it doesn't, then I'm coming after you.
Very well.
Well, that was loud.
It's the son of
Bernie
firing
drives
up
Bernie
with
rides
people.
off on a motorcycle.
Bernie fucks off on a motorcycle.
Flipping the bird.
Fires that shit.
You're gonna have to catch me first.
Sorry about that. Fucking hate
good.
living next to a damn highway.
Yeah, it can suck. But and she looks to you, says, "You know who your family is, right?"
Very much so.
All right. Well, considering you've picked up this group of miscreants, I suppose.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Corellian sneezes.
I suppose I've had some time to think. I was going to make you come back. But, considering that you've been to Dragon's Mouth, and we've only just gotten there, it may be advantageous to let you go about your business for the moment. However, I expect regular reports. I want to know what's going on.
Okay.
Because what's good for the Cat's Eye is good for all of us.
Indeed.
She walks over to a small table, butted up against a wall, has a couple stools on it and some leftover food. Picks up a small, another small sort of, it looks like almost like a small map tube, maybe 4 inches long, with a sort of screw on top, hands it to you. Says, "I expect regular reports. Put them in here. They'll get to me. Check it every day, because we may have more use for you in future." For the moment, we've heard some interesting talk of some, well, we're not entirely sure, barbarian tribes, for lack of a better term, something, raiders, that sort. But it seems that there are 2 groups fighting somewhere down to the south, near the, just north of the wastelands themselves, just over the mountains. If you find your way down there, I suppose we already have some of our agents headed that way, but if you find find your way down that way, let me know. We may have some work for you. In the meantime, if any of my shipments go missing in the next few days, I'll know who to blame, and we'll see each other again very soon. Also, I did promise. She also picks up from the table a bag, small pouch, throws it to you. 700 gold, as we agreed. And I suppose if you want this shithole back, you can have it. It's not really that useful. However, for the time being, I'm taking... Well, since you didn't tithe, I'm taking the other half. And she sort of picks up another bag, which seems to be half of your winnings. It seems that she paid you with your winnings from the place. In the meantime, she just sort of looks at you and says, I don't care what you do for now, but this place is mine until the end of the night at least. So I have more family to train. I'm sure you have better places to be as well.
So how are the new recruits doing?
Oh, better than you.
Oh, that's not saying much.
That's true. Anyway.
And he shoots her in the face.
Finger guns.
For the moment, we have our operations set up for the most part. I suppose I like you. Or at least
That's always handy.
I did. So, I suppose I can give you one piece of advice. If you plan to go anywhere, stay away from Velder on the lake. It's going to be a bit of a coup. And I'd rather you didn't interfere.
Okay.
Anyway.
How'd you spell that?
That'll be Valdyr. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Just take a note of that.
Yep. She then sort of looks at you and goes, I have nothing else to say to you. Why are you still here?
Who says I am? I poof.
Batman.
Batman, yeah.
I'm back.
So she goes back to training the new recruits.
Oh, you should pick up more stealth.
Oh no, it's fine. She can see pretty much wherever he goes. Yeah, no, that doesn't beat her passive perception.
That's about 29.
29? That
Still not quite.
just beats her passive perception.
What the fuck?
She turns to the
28.
She turns to the recruits. Well, why are you still? And then turns around and you're gone.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
And the echo of my voice throughout the room.
You just see her roll her eyes. Also, doing that will negate the stealth check pretty much as she locks onto you and watches you. The other kids don't, but she watches you leave pretty easily. Actually, considering, yeah, you would see her you would see like a little glint of her glasses as soon as you sort of stealth up like that or whatever. And she just watches you as you leave, no problem. True sight's a bitch. So.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you head out. Is there anything else you want to do in the city?
Yeah, I'll stop Is there a blacksmith?
There is a sort of meager blacksmith, sure. It's not, it's not a huge place, but there is a blacksmith.
I'll see if maybe he has some lead, copper, saltpeter, charcoal, or sulfur.
He has a lot of charcoal. Being that he runs the forge and everything, you could probably pick some up.
Okay.
You could also probably get some lead that isn't really. It's slag for the most part. You could purchase that. You'd have to refine it yourself.
Yep.
But you could probably get, we'll say, about a pound of slag lead, and I don't know, we'll say 5 pounds of charcoal for the moment, considering your carry weight. Well, I mean, you could load up the rock, but then you'd have to bring it into the city.
Yeah.
Which might not be a good plan. All told, we'll say it's going to cost you about 10 gold. It's not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah. And then anything else?
No, that should be good.
Okay. So you head out to go back to where you left the rock. Meanwhile, everyone else, you guys are on the ship. Ta, you notice a few more sails in the close distance, knowing that, we'll say right now it's just after lunch. You do notice some sails in the near distance. I'm going to just move us to here because this is way easier. But yeah, notice some sails in the distance as you bend here. For all intents and purposes, you're kind of like there.
All right.
Coming into Praven.
Mm-hmm.
As it's kind of right there-ish.
Oh,
right.
I hate myself.
You do notice that there are, like I said, some sails and everything. Ships are a lot closer now. You can see a couple headed in the same direction as you. Well, you're moving much faster comparatively to them.
Right.
Maybe start spinning the water.
Yeah, as we get closer and closer to either ships and or Praven, I'm just gonna gradually start to set it down in the water, okay. So we aren't full weight in the water until we're close enough for somebody to actually see us, so we can still keep a little bit higher speed. Okay,
so you kind of just drop just part of the keel into the water to sort of slow you down, but not by much. It is relatively uneventful. I mean, you can see these ships pretty far out, and you're far enough from the coast itself that none of the fishing boats are really going to notice, especially now that you do have some water.
Yeah, just
being
just
picked up and all.
We're really light in the water, so we're not very deep in it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Continuing on. Let's see. It's not until probably another 4 hours or so that you're actually close enough to where you're going to have to put a fair amount of the hull into the water. It's now about 4 or 5 p.m. Right. You're maybe, considering your speed and all, you're probably about 10 miles from the Praven docks for all intents and purposes. And it's going to be another 2 hours or so now that you're mostly in the water. Mind you, I mean, you're still faster than pretty much everybody else, not by a whole lot now. And you look like a proper ship, maybe floating a little high for like as if you were unladen, but pretty much nobody's gonna notice that getting in. You got about another 2 hours or so before, 2.5 to actually get in and tied up and everything. Meanwhile, Birdie,
I tell Koresh to go play with Zuzian. "Quote unquote" play.
Oh God! All right.
What?
What does that mean?
Yeah. What?
You get pounced by a drake. You have no idea what's going on.
It slobbers all over you.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, roll me. You know what?
Like a very,
just for shits and
very
giggles,
large.
Roll me. A.
Don't. Oh, I can give you the attack for him, but
Yeah, just give me an attack. It won't be any damage necessarily, but Zuzia, if you want to Oh, jeez.
Oh god, she's dead.
We're gonna have some
God.
problems, but go ahead and make me an athletic or in acrobatics to dodge out of the way potentially. You do not. All of a sudden, this large, wingless dragon, essentially, about 8 foot long, head to tail, almost looking like a dragon mixed with like a dog or a wolf, just jumps on you and starts licking your face like crazy.
It's so slobbery.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of pinned on the deck as it's just licking your face, and yeah, enjoy.
I'll just telepathically communicate because I see how well he did that. I'm gonna get you some more meat.
Okay. I mean, you do have a way to get out if you want to.
Just misty step away real quick.
Right. All of a sudden, Zuzia apparates and appears 30 feet away on her feet. And Koresh is like looking around, has no idea what the hell just happened. He had his quarry right in front of him, and he was doing a good job, and then she was gone. And he just looks at you, Corellia, and goes,
It's okay.
Where'd it
I still
go?
did good.
All right.
I scratch him behind the ears.
Like you fake through the ball, and he's like, oh, I knew you threw it. What happened?
Yeah, Zuzia, you kind of like back away slowly, keeping your eye on Koresh, making sure he doesn't see you, and sort of book it over to the, because you guys would be up on the front. And you sort of go past the sail, kind of ducking behind the mast for a moment, making sure that the danger is past. Yeah, you make it out alive.
Can I check up on my plants, see how they're doing? I know it's been about 5 days or so.
Okay. Yeah, so you go up there, where did I write this down? Exactly which ones you had.
I can tell you it was...
Yeah, I have them written
Wormtongue,
down. I just don't know
Sagebrush,
where.
Hemlock, and Maidenhair.
So the Maidenhair, unfortunately, was the victim of one of the Griffin's talons when it landed on the boat.
Fucker.
The other 3 seem to be doing okay for the most part. But yeah, the Maidenhair and that entire box is just gone with the hole in the deck.
God damn it.
It was, yeah.
Can I tell how long it's gonna take before it's harvestable? Any of the 3 that are still okay?
Knowing what you know, and with the spell that you cast, you have an idea. It's going to be another, a normal growing season is like 2 months or so, so it's going to be another about 2 or 3 weeks for these to be, fully mature and ready to pick. Meanwhile, Birdie, you take off, right? Heading back? All right, so you are about halfway on your journey as Ta. You have to set the ship mostly in the water now. As you come into Praven, let's do this. Welcome to Praven.
Do they have their own docks that I could go to? I guess since I've been a merc here before.
So there are docks here, for sure. There's a lot of docks, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
we still have to
What you
mention door
notice,
marks.
interestingly, what you notice is kind of over this way. The Draken Ascendancy have kind of set this area up as almost their embassy, and it would be just off of here. There's a set of cliffs, and it seems like there's actually a sky dock being built here because of that that treaty that they signed for trade. There are, you notice, 2 or 3 merchant type skyships here, and 2 Navy airships over the embassy area.
Do I see them in do I know the names of the Navy ships?
From here, because they're all kind of this, most of them are of a similar type. You guys are, you're just crossing coming into the harbor itself, you don't know. You wouldn't be able to tell. You might notice, you'd actually have to get a lot closer to read the names or something, or have a spyglass or something like that.
Can I see any 3 crowns?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Okay. Actually, yes, you can. In fact, 3 crowns, right over here. You would have been told where to drop things off. It's more of a loading dock than anything else, but yeah, you can pull up over here. You just need to find a spot to stay afterwards, as that's not really, they just sort of don't care about the rest of that.
Yeah, no, I would actually want to drop that off and then go over to the Draken Ascendancy area after we complete that drop off there.
All
but
right,
I don't know. Do we have to? Did we have to drop it off to them and then go back to the guy to get paid, or do we get paid here?
Yeah, he would have told you would get paid here. He tried to send word ahead, but just have him confirm.
Right.
There are sending stones or whatever.
We might have. Oh, damn it! I was gonna say we might have beat the message.
You might have, actually. It's usually like you get the idea that it's a contract basis. You roll in, they check with, whenever you roll in, they check and make sure that was a legitimate thing, and then you get paid.
Okay.
So you sort of roll up, a couple dockhands sort of pull, the ship in. You guys can offload it if you want. It doesn't take you too long. I mean, the crates are not super heavy. Between Ta and Carillion, you guys and kind of all working together, you can manage to put everything onto the dock. And a sort of accountant walks up to you. All right, where are these from?
Rivermouth.
Okay. Who's your contact?
Did I get his name? He was a dwarf.
That really narrows it down.
I don't know if I asked for his name.
How much did he say?
300?
I think it was.
Okay, 300.
If we could do it in
make it in 2 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He said 300 if we could make it in 2 days, and we're here before the end of the second day.
He grabs a sending stone and sort of writes in the air a little bit. Yeah, you get the idea that he has, he's asking essentially about that. A few seconds later, it seems to like glow for a second. He goes, Dax said you're legit. Fine. Come on. He walks down to sort of like the front office, digs through, a lockbox of some kind, counts out 300 gold, puts it in a bag, and throws it at you. Quite literally, just throws it at you. He seems to be pretty much done with it, with whatever shit has happened in the day, and you have no idea what that is. But he's had a bad day, apparently, or he's just a surly motherfucker, and you're really not sure which.
Most of your ships, or I think he said your fastest ships take 3 days to do this, right?
Yeah, something like that.
There's no expedited bonus or anything, is there?
From my understanding, that 300 was the expedited bonus. Normally, we pay per 10 crates about 150.
Oh, all right,
cool.
Well, thank you, and we'll be on our way.
Great. He just goes back to whatever he don't care anymore. But you guys can easily, then sort of leave the harbor. Takes you, considering the traffic and everything, it takes you another hour to get around towards the Draken Ascendancy side. At this point, Birdie, you are just cresting over the hill, likely. Okay. And you can kind of see Praven just up in the distance. You're not quite there, but you're pretty close. But yeah, as you guys roll up to the Draken Ascendancy, there are 2 Dragonborn Marines standing kind of at the ends of each of the docks, and they sort of look at you quizzically, like, that's weird. There's a regular boat just rolling up here. They both look at they look at all of you kind of like, what the hell are you doing here?
Some of their airships were at the docks too, right?
There are a couple of merchant ships there, but the actual airships, the Navy airships, are actually floating above the embassy itself.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Right. I guess I'll do military salute for the Draken and just like let them know it's Tempest Wolf coming in.
Yeah, I'll say you're up, Carillion.
All right. They look at you. One of them sort of like takes a run down the pier. Actually, seems to grab the captain of the guard. He comes up. What's your business here?
Looking to dock for the day. Maybe looking to get some
repairs.
Quick repairs.
I
just showed him the front of the ship.
Airships.
This is an embassy, not a repair yard.
Well, you're building the skydock, right? You got to have some contractors here somewhere.
Yeah, but they're building the skydock. Look. Who are you?
We're nobody. We're looking for people that actually. This whole area isn't super friendly to airships, so we wanted to make sure we got some contractors that wouldn't try and take advantage of the Draken Ascendancy's kindness.
Sort of looks at you like you get the idea that he's not even entirely sure. Like he might not have actually heard of you guys 100% yet.
All right, cool. I'll ask him if he knows Captain Shadon Reither of the Dawn Amaranth.
Yeah, I heard of him.
Yeah, well, I used to serve on his crew. We received this ship from Saria Jakar after rescuing her a month or two ago, and we received this airship as a gift. Somebody should have records here of the Tempest Wolf.
He kind of looks at you and goes, "Tie off port side. I'll be back." Leaves. Apparently to go and find out what the hell is going on. A little while later, he comes back out and goes, "All right, you're clear to stay here for the night, but we've got a large merchant fleet coming in with more building supplies for the skydock. We'll need you out at least during the duration of the day tomorrow. You can anchor, I don't give a shit, but I need you off the docks tomorrow, at least throughout the day."
Well, our little spar won't hold for too much longer, I believe.
No, it will not.
No.
Nope.
You're gonna wanna get that fixed.
Bertie, you're gonna have a hell of a time. I forgot how many docks were here.
Yeah, so Bertie, make me a perception check.
How far does
I'll be right back.
How far did the Rocky Talkie reach? It's like a mile.
It's something like that. Okay, Bertie, you think you see for a second. You think you see one of the ships or you think you see the Tempest Wolf over this way and begin flying that way.
Freaking the hell.
You kind of go all the way up around here. You're looking everywhere. You managed to notice that this is 3 crowns, so you figure they were probably over that way. So this takes you this is like a 30-minute flight over the city, and a lot of people are looking.
Guess what? I don't give a fuck.
You notice the Tempest Wolf over here. This is all happening while you're having this discussion, Ta. And all of a sudden, Bertie, you just sort of you aim. What do you want to do? How do you want to do? What do you want to do here?
I want to see what this rock can do.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. All right. What do you mean by that? Because there are a lot of things that could mean.
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full.
Pretty much. But yeah, you managed to.
He's gonna take the rock up. Probably 100, 200 feet.
Oh Jesus! All right.
And then just drop. Bird and all. Straight towards the deck. And then at the very end, have the bird flare out its wings and land.
There's this spot of shadow on the deck that just grows.
So it's not quite like that, but it's pretty close.
Pretty awesome.
I would say Bramnik and Zuzia, you two see this happen. You notice a giant fucking bird overhead while Ta and Corellian are trying to like argue, and Nyx, you're probably wrapped up in something nefarious. Odds are. Meanwhile, you notice the giant fucking bird. And you notice it's pretty high up, and then it starts to dive, picking up speed at an alarming rate, just past the edge of the dock over the water. Ta and Corellian are kind of in this heated discussion, trying to figure out, okay, well, what time do we leave and all this stuff. All of a sudden, this bird with Birdie on the back, literally almost hits exactly the level of the dock above the water and pulls its wings out, literally like gliding straight at this guy. Now, Ta and Krillin are facing in towards the land. This guy, all of a sudden sees this bird appear behind the two of you, diving, looking straight at him. And as you sort of like pull back on the feathers, Birdie, he flares his wings, creating this huge gust. Ta and Corellian, make me strength saves.
18.
As this thing just lands right on the edge.
23.
The two of you manage to kind of hold on for the most part.
My sash just flutters.
He does not.
I just take a step
All of
forward.
a sudden starts tumbling backwards, rolling head over heels, a good 20 feet.
Just
Just
as if this is normal, I'm going to turn out, Birdie!
Birdie the birdie? Birdie and Birdie.
Birdie and Birdie.
Hey, I found you finally.
God damn it, Bird.
So as you're standing or sitting there, Birdie,
I go assist
quite
that guy
proud
back
of-
up.
what's that?
I go assist that guy back up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you rush off. What are you doing, Ta?
Oh, I do nothing.
Okay.
I just turn around and like wait for Birdie to get down off the bird.
So Birdie, at this point, it's right about now that the feather token runs out.
And
The token or the bird disappears, and you just start falling. It's not too high up. It's like 15, 20 feet up.
Ooh.
As he's falling, he's like, catch the token.
Actually, Ta, you could probably reach out and grab it if you wanted to.
Yeah,
but okay, yeah.
And I'll
But
put it back in
Birdie,
the bag.
you fall. It's like a stomach flop version of a belly flop on the deck. Just whoosh, yeah, you kind of
Still-
crack your chin on there, but
Worth it. Totally worth it.
all right.
At this point, I'll just turn towards Ty after help this guy. I was like, you might want to get the papers that I gave us just to maybe leverage something because we need those repairs.
What?
You do get.
in the
I will say for the
The
purposes
ship
of this,
registration.
Yeah, you do hear of an individual here who actually is sort of contracted to work on some of the airships around here if they do need repairs.
Yeah.
After I pick myself up, I'll toss Ta
The token.
the bag and the
Oh,
token.
Okay.
All right.
So Ta, yeah, you now have the token and
I wanna-
and the bag.
I want to have the bag. This is mostly just for our joke, but I want to have the bag and be like, this feels like it's only half as heavy as it should be.
Nah, not quite
It actually
half.
feels a little bit less. It's about 500 gold in there.
Oh, it's 500 now. All right.
500. Yeah.
All
You
right.
don't know anything else, so.
No, I know. This is me saying that.
Yep.
And
It's
good news.
It's fine.
Meanwhile,
You know
yeah,
that,
you do hear about the contact, and you're told, on the morrow you can, he'll be by anyway, so to do minor repairs on the merchant fleet. You'll have to wait a day, as once the merchant fleet he's bringing in some of the specialized wood from the Dragon Ascendancy for repairs, etc. And it will be some time. It's got to get all offloaded and everything, and then after that, he might be able to do some repairs, etc. And we'll see.
Okay. Just as a side note to us as players, I just want to let you know that we made 1,083 gold today, and our total is currently 1,332. We have leet gold, or no, that'd be 7. Damn it! Fuck, so close. We need to make 5 gold.
Hold on. Let me hand you 5 gold for what I have.
Yeah, we have leet gold.
All right.
138 gold
I'll look at
pieces.
Ta and go, oh, and that little problem of not having the fighting ring?
Mhm.
Yeah, I fixed that.
Ah, good. Good to hear.
Yep. All right. So, in the meantime, you're given what's that?
How long did we have to wait for repairs? Sorry, I missed that while I was doing this.
So
Tomorrow.
At least
the
a day and a half.
the resources are coming in tomorrow.
Okay.
It's specialized wood from the Draken Ascendancy that's been treated and all that. So,
nice. Awesome.
but a lot of it is slated for use on the sky dock. So
Totally.
whatever is sort of left over
Hmm.
could potentially be used at least to get basic repairs done.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we
It's
just
likely
need to-
not going to be perfect.
We just need to fix
That's
the
fine.
the front hull of it, not
Yeah.
leave the top
Hull
for later.
and some of the other structural elements more than anything else. In the meantime, the contractor himself is going to be by tomorrow to sort of repair any of the merchant ships that come in, receive the goods, and then you can probably talk to him then. And he would be able to help out probably the following day or late that night. In the meantime,
We
if
definitely
there's
need to get
anything
our
you guys
papers in
would
order.
like to do,
I want to do some experiments.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go ahead and ask
Not on the ship.
I
Ask.
mean,
the rest of the party here. Well, the last time I was here, I didn't really get to do a lot. What is there to do here?
actually, I'll just give you a little bit. You guys do know. Okay, so with the hole in the ship and everything, it is a bit drafty and a bit wet if it rains. You did your best to seal it up, but it's not perfect, and actually it's starting to look a little bit stormy. You do know that there is the Merchant Quarter, of course, and the Lonely Star Inn with Lydia running it. Biggs has a subsidiary shop out here for
Moving up in the world.
blacksmithing goods.
Mhm.
Well, actually, it's his original shop. You guys know of Edge, who may or may not have some jobs or something like that, should you want it.
There's also an arena.
There is the arena, which you guys have not visited yet.
Uh,
There is also...
No, we had our first fight there.
no, we had our first fight out near where the Draken Ascendancy was camped out.
No, you guys did it
No,
in the
because
arena.
it was there was the anti-magic field that they cast on that
Oh,
arena
yeah.
out there.
That's not that arena. That was
Oh?
at the Draken Ascendancy. That
Oh.
I think.
No, it
Wait,
was here.
No,
It was
because he
here. It
fought
was
the other
Moonlight.
dude at the Draken Ascendancy.
Yeah.
We fought
Okay.
here, and then we fought on the ship again, and then he fought the dude at the Draken Ascendancy.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, Bramnick lost his bet
Because-
here.
Yeah,
Right,
because I've been to this town before.
I
so
barely
knew
won
the
that
arena
one.
was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember now. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on everything. I try to remember the stuff that you guys have done, but sometimes I
Yeah,
get it
no,
wrong.
It's a lot.
it's
We've
fine.
done a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm not Matt Mercer. I wish I was. I will never be that good. However, yeah, as far as you know, there's the seedier underbelly stuff. Ta and Nyx have definitely been here before. Nyx would be the one to go to for seedier underbelly stuff.
As long as we're willing to
Birdie
deal it.
definitely spent some time here as well. While you guys were off, flying on Saria's airship, he was stuck here. So you know a little bit about the town. Yeah,
No, I don't.
I know, but in character you do.
Yeah.
You know some stuff. So yeah.
Hey, don't we know the
Beyond
count
that,
here,
you're
or
not
whatever his
entirely
name is?
What's that?
Don't we? I mean, and by we I mean them. Know about like the count here? Like, don't they have a connection for saving somebody or something?
Yeah, the Count does live here actually.
Yeah.
You know that his manor is located somewhere in the city. But yeah, you haven't spoken to him in some time.
We also need to go check out that little shop where we delivered the dagger to for the dealer. See if we can get some information.
Okay. Well, how about you guys come up with a plan of attack? It's 4 p.m. Do you guys want to keep going? I know, Ty, you're gonna probably have to go do your halvesies thing.
Yeah, I mean, we can take a break. Like, I mean, I can still
I
listen
actually
in.
have things I need to do later, so preferably finish before 2, or we can stop here, or like in like 15 minutes.
I mean, this is
Okay.
a pretty good point as far as like just sort
Okay.
of a checkpoint goes. I mean, I'd like to keep going,
Sure.
but like everything beyond here is just like
Well, how
shopping
about
excursion,
this? How
basically.
about this? For the purposes of this, let's do a bit of the basic shopping and get it out of the way because it's way easier to just do it now while you guys have stuff in your head.
Yep.
And then we can pick up any extra shopping afterwards. But I do want a 5-minute break because my throat hurts. And then we'll do any basic shopping, any basic stuff you want to do, and we'll pick up after that next week with any big stuff.
Additional.
You know, yeah, we'll sort of pick up kind of in the town. We'll say for the purposes of this, this will be kind of in the evening. It's around 6 p.m. And we'll go from there. But I will be back in like 5 minutes. I'll let you guys figure out what you want to do.
Do we want to sell that Mariner's plate armor?
That's up to you, plate wearers.
Cause the plate armor sounds good, but I'm like, this is a special made like wolf's head pauldron shit from like as a gift, so I'm not gonna like really wanna get rid of it.
And if it's got the same attributes but got the special bonuses, maybe talk and wear it.
Yeah, cause it's magical plate armor. So does it have a +1 on it? Talking have a 22 armor rating or armor class.
Ta, can you hear us?
Nix is gonna ask Zuzia if she's ever been to like a bathhouse before.
I just came back to my computer.
Oh.
A bathhouse? No.
Yeah, it's cool. They got
Yes.
like baths, like
Yeah.
scented oils, and like all this other cool shit. It's really nice.
Here's the bath episode in the animes.
I didn't think we were in anime land.
Wrong system.
I was just like trying to think, like, because I didn't even think that was a thing, but I would think that there would be bathhouses in like cave areas, but I feel like they would be more rustic and used looking than maybe what you guys are familiar with.
Oh, it's pretty sweet. And a lot of rich people like going there too, usually. And yeah, it's kind of an easy way to pinch some money. Oh wait, do you do that?
Do what?
Like 5-finger discount stuff on, just whatever you see.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, we are gonna get along so well.
Oh god.
Good.
Well, I'm gonna have to visit some kind of like, I don't know, potion shop, so that way I can see if I can get more maiden hair. This shit's expensive though.
Who is it that has arrows?
Me.
Okay.
Birdie.
I don't need any yet, but eventually I'll ask you for some. Probably.
Or I could just go buy some.
I can buy some also, yes, but like in a pinch.
Yeah.
Maybe I might ask Birdie if those draken teeth would be good to use combined with the
I've still
The
got these
feathers.
claws from those ghouls that have like a semi-paralytic like property on them.
but to see if they'd be good combined with those feathers to make really, really good arrows.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard to file them down into arrowheads. Not really. It would just be a time thing, mostly.
Yeah.
Because it's bone.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Took it long enough.
So-
Whatever.
Would Birdie know if I were to ask him if the draken teeth would be good for arrows?
The dragon teeth are kind of long, sort of needle-like, but they're very, very heavy. So odds are they could be turned into arrows. However,
Probably be better for a crossbow.
they would have a negative to hit, but or not negative like overall, but it just wouldn't be as good. However, they might be capable of doing extra damage. You don't really know. You could probably use them for something.
I'll just go ahead and look at Birdie, hand off the 10 claws I've got. It's like, this is your problem now. Make them into arrowheads or something. I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
I think those were
Alright.
like the ghoul claws or the whatever claws we got.
The
from,
fiend claws,
yeah.
yeah.
With the paralyzed thing on them.
No, they don't have a.
It was some sort of poison.
No, those would be the Yonti claws then. Fiend claws were a little different. They were really heavy and big and chunky. Yonti claws are these thin, serrated, curved things that look like they could be knives.
it was the fiend stuff because I think I remember like
Okay.
chopping those. Like,
Yeah,
chopping
you had
the
the
entire
fiend
hand
stuff.
off.
Yeah, the fiend stuff.
You could probably make a couple arrows out of like.
Yeah. So,
2 or 3.
Birdie.
Yes.
Basically, you get handed 2 giant fiend hands. Rotting. Pretty bad.
bone.
It smells terrible. And on them you see these large, they almost look like shark teeth claws. Very, very heavy, slightly curved. Looking at them, you might be able to do something with them, but it would require sort of sharpening it out to a straight point. But these are like bigger than any broadheads you've ever seen. But they could be useful, potentially, if you came up with a way to use them. But yeah.
Well, we do have the 2 ballista.
You do have a couple of ballista.
Oh. Hey, Todd, we got ballista ammo.
Well,
Well,
partially.
we got heads.
Potentially.
Partially.
Yeah. And Todd's not here.
I wanna
Because toss sucks.
I wanna head to the kitchen area and grab like a metal eating utensil of sorts, and then head to my room. And I want to try just like sticking a little bit of it into the acid that I found to see what happens. Like, see how corrosive it is.
Okay. So you sort of actually, so what you would do probably is, you make you pour a little bit of the acid out.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
Well, let's do that or corrupt the rest of the acid. with whatever is left over.
Don't
So
do it
you
in your
sort of
room.
drip a little bit of acid onto, a
The
fork.
table in my room or something.
Yeah, and you notice it starts to slowly burn through that, sort of oxidizing and turning that metal to kind of mush in a way. It takes a while, but it certainly has an effect.
I'll take some of the moss. I'll just pluck a little piece off and stick it on there and see if it dissolves
Oh
immediately.
yeah, it dissolves very, very quickly.
Okay. Does this give me better ideas of the potency of the acid then? And
yeah, it seems like it's not the most potent acid you've ever seen, but it's certainly got some kick. Finding a way to hold on, or if you wanted to put it on a blade or something like that, it might ruin the blade if it's not made out of the right materials or whatever else. So,
is it having any effects on the vial itself?
The glass seems to be containing it for the most part. Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't. There's not pock marks or.
No. Okay. Not as so far as you can tell.
Okay. Would I need to do further testing to quote unquote identify it?
Yeah, it's not really. It's basically 2d8 acid damage. If it touches something. For the rest of the vial, for the most part.
That would probably be considered if I were to say try to throw it at something, would that be considered a dexterity?
It would be it would be a dexterity weapon attack. You're not proficient in it necessarily.
Right.
But and it would be, considering how much you have, it would be it would hit the target and burn.
Okay.
Through it potentially.
I'll go find Susia because I know I've seen her throw daggers, so I know that she's good at throwing things.
Okay.
Hey Susia.
Yeah.
I've got this this acid that I got from that Dracon.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty well contained in this vial, but you might be able to throw it at something and shatter the vial to cause some decent acid damage if you're interested.
Oh, you want me to take this acid from you?
Yeah, I can't really. I'm not really good at throwing things.
Okay.
So.
Sure, I'll hold on to that. May come in use.
Right. So you have a vial of acid damage or acid. You only have one, so you can only throw it once. But if you were going to throw it, but it does 2d8 acid damage, so you can just sort of write that in wherever.
I mean, if you ever need more acid, I just need to take a short rest.
So yeah. Also, I don't know about you, but I'm fairly decent at making poisons and stuff. So if you ever need some, let me know.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Then I need to head to the marketplace. So
okay.
Well, I gotta go. So
awesome.
Yeah, if anybody wants to go to the market, they can.
Yep.
All right. If there's anything in particular you guys want to, hold on. It's apparently typing. But yeah, we're gonna do we can do a sort of a base stuff. If you're looking for magic items, I'm gonna save that for next session probably. But if you want to sell something or buy something that's not magic, we can talk. I think that's the easiest way to do it.
Just looking for the other ingredients: the copper, saltpeter, and sulfur.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of know where to go to find maybe less than legal stuff. It's pretty well known that stuff can cause or can create some explosive compounds. You do find
Oh, that's right.
You find a sort of underground market, and eventually Yeah, you could probably purchase a bit of saltpeter, enough to make, after refinement and everything, about a pound of gunpowder with the charcoal that you have.
Okay.
That's going to cost you around, considering the refinement and everything, about 80 gold. Saltpeter being the kind of rough one there.
Okay.
So, yeah, you now have all materials. Sit down and really refine them for a
So
while.
you said about a pound of gunpowder?
Yeah, you can get about a pound of gunpowder out of that, which should be good for quite a few charges, actually.
Giraffe, you're gonna want to change that attack
40?
type from strength to dexterity, and
Yep.
maybe give it like a 30-foot range.
I have no idea how to do any of this.
I'll walk you through it in a little bit.
Yeah, I just figured I'd just like put something there and then ask Raven later.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
speaking of which, yeah, we got that on Dex. I just wanted to make sure it was. But yeah, so anybody else want to do sort of like the basic stuff?
I want to see if I can replenish the maiden hair that I lost.
Yeah, you could probably go down to one of the markets, herb sellers. You could purchase some maiden hair. It's pretty cheap.
Just a
Relatively cheap.
couple to replenish. Yeah.
Okay. Are you going for like
One,
seeds or?
It'd probably be better to get the seed if I could just
Okay.
get one seed.
One seed is gonna cost you 2 silver. It's kind of hard to find some of those seeds here and there, so it's a little bit more expensive.
The only other thing I want is to see if I can get like some sort of small box that I can try to grow like fungus in, like mushroom.
Okay. You could probably find something like that. It'll cost you, we'll say 2 gold, and it
Okay.
would be ready to be picked up the next day, as it's a custom order.
Okay.
From some sort of craftsman, down in the main area.
Okay.
Anything else from anyone else?
Nope,
Okay.
not for now.
All right. So we'll say you guys finish up and head back to the ship for now. I guess we'll probably call it here for today, and then pick up next week with most likely at least half a shopping episode and figure out where you guys are going to go next. There's a lot of options, and we'll see what you guys come up with.
Nice.
right.
Okey-dokey.
Good game, guys.
GG.
Yep.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yo.